It begins, kind of. So, some early release is available for the Great Dark Beyond. They have come up with the achievements page, and there is one on here that we can start on immediately. Spellbursting with Flavor. Trigger 75, then 150 spell burst effects. Now, right now, in standard, there is exactly one spell burst card, even if we put it on crafting. Like, this stuff is not yet released. Right. So, but they did give us Nexus-Prince Shaffar early. This is from the next expansion, but they gifted it to everybody, and it does have Spell Burst. Give a minion in your hand, +3/+3, and this Spell Burst. Now, with recognition, if you just want to wait until the expansion comes out, Spell Burst is a returning mechanic. There are plenty of cards that will have it, and you will be able to make progress on this achievement quite easily just by including Spellburst cards in your deck. Similarly, Spellburst is a returning mechanic, which means right now you can go play Wild if you want and put a bunch of Spellburst in your deck and make lots of progress. I like to keep with standard because I like to make this accessible to everybody, even new players who are just coming into the game. And so I am going to make a deck that uses Nexus-Prince Shaffar and only Nexus-Prince Shaffar, but I believe we can still make okay progress per game. I am going to go ahead and use a Warlock simply for the reason that I have an open quest to play Imps right now. But really, the crux of this deck is just going to have a good mix of minions and spells so that when I draw Nexus Prime Shaffar, I can have a spell to cast with him, and whatever minion that goes on, I can play the minion and then play another spell, and then play the minion that it comes on, and then play another spell, and so on and so forth ad infinitum. Well, you know, decks have a limited number of cards, but maybe we can do something about that too. Let's figure out what we can do. Okay, with the last thing I mentioned there about our deck running out of cards, well, how about with Adaptive Amalgam? So this will Death Rattle go back into your deck, and also it will keep any enchantments it has on it. So I put a couple of cards in there to help give it enchantments to keep and make it more relevant throughout the game. So I can give it Wind Fury because it's a pirate. I can give it Divine Shield. I can give it Taunt. I can give it Lifesteal. And I can also give it the +3/+3 in Spell Burst as many times as I want. So then, beyond that, I have ways to discover spells. I have a couple of spells myself. I have Sargeras, just to give myself more survivability. And I feel like this has a high potential for good numbers. I do want to mention, with Nexus-Prince Shaffar, I did do a little bit of science on this beforehand. I tried to see if using Shadow Step on this could be a way to get more copies of that spell burst out into your deck. Unfortunately, if you Shadow Step it, it doesn't activate the spell burst before it returns Nexus-Prince Shaffar to your hand. So I would also like to mention copying him is a perfectly valid strategy. I didn't go that route mostly because I just want to summon more imps for now because of my other quest. I may bus him in, but also I'm not too concerned about making a whole lot of progress right now because, as I mentioned before, once the expansion comes out, there will be plenty of Spellburst cards, and you can just put them into your deck and make lots of progress. So right now I'm just sort of having fun with it. Alright, let's see how this goes.
Kenzie versus Garrosh.
Victory or death!
Not in my kitchen.
Well, I have something to draw a shadow spell, so I'm going to throw the shadow spell back, but otherwise I'm happy enough with this. Get in there. The coin into a forge.
Necessary?
Hey, at 5 mana, I can already give my Adaptive Amalgam Divine Shield.
They'll begin adventuring in a cavern. Isn't this fun? Start this show!
Me sway candle!
Actually, come to think of it, I'm not sure it'll keep the Divine Shield because by the time it dies, it won't have it anymore.
Tell me this!
I'm not sure how that works. I haven't played that much with the Adaptive Amalgams.
An ocean breeze puts the mind at ease.
Do I want to draw 3 cards? I kinda do. And let's go ahead and put the Amalgam back in the deck. Maybe I shouldn't have put the Amalgam back in the deck.
Tell me this! I found a sea urchin! Feature life-size statue of Amandu!
Of these 3, that's the one I want.
No matter the danger, I'll always chase a good discovery! Enjoy your trip! My shield for Argus! Job done.
Yep, it does keep the uh, Divine Shield. That's nice.
Thousand Needles! Are you ready to rock? I must choose!
Now, I do have to be aware that this person played Bran, which means almost 100% they've got Reno in the deck somewhere. I don't want to lose my amalgams, so I'm actually going to bait Reno out with Sargeras, because Reno will get rid of the Nether Portal.
This is only the beginning.
A new planet to burn.
And then I dare not play the amalgams out again before Reno comes down.
I must choose! Might rules more.
Yeah, we knew that was coming. They burned the other amalgam. So,
Into the breach!
certainly, we're going to be sending everything into the Twisting Nether. We do not want them
There is no escape!
bouncing back that dude. And then, I guess...
I
Discover a
listened
spell?
to ETC before he was cool.
Ooh. Nice. Hit that thing once. Okay. Sure, we can.
A new planet to burn.
Maybe they don't have Reno yet.
I must choose! Everything is a melting point.
I do want to keep my hand fairly full.
Bow before the
To give the
onslaught of the
TNTs
Legion.
less and less of a chance of hitting the amalgam.
I'm gonna win big.
But at the same time, I want to make sure that they are basically forced to Reno as soon as they get it.
Well, looking for a standoff? Careful, it's against me.
Excellent. If I'm going to have only one creature, that's the one I want it to be. Especially since I have plenty of spells to cast
I
with.
will tend to you personally. How entertaining.
And that's good enough because next turn I will certainly want to give that to my adoptive Amalgam. Let's go ahead and put another card in my hand. Okay, it didn't hit one of those. And I think that's 3... Is that 3 or 4 of the bombs gone?
Relaxation for all, and all thanks to me.
I raise, you fold.
Gotta move fast here.
I ain't talking. I'm gonna let
Well, that certainly could have been worse. So let's go ahead and give you...
I'll get right on it.
Let's go ahead and put this on this side, give you lifesteal. Let's use this gift.
Hands up, my dice.
And actually, I think I do want to tap because the Amalgam being on the board is the best time to hit one of the bombs.
Job done.
I'm running low on cards. I'm out of cards.
Because now the Amalgam goes in the
I'm
deck.
running low on cards.
Now, unfortunately, it does mean that their deck completely took away my ability to get more spell burst. And I'm sure they have some way. Oh, or I'm just dead. Honestly, I can't wait for this Reno warrior deck to just not be a thing anymore. They don't even need to do anything else. I'm dead. Two. I managed to do it twice. Well, I drew the Spellburst dude kind of late, and like that Reno deck is very oppressive. I mean, it takes, even without bouncing it back to your hand, that shuffles 6 of those bombs into your deck. Each of those bombs can be responsible for up to 3 cards. That's like that card is just not fun to play against, in my opinion. It removes 18 cards from your repertoire for a minimal setup, right? Like, there's not much cost to putting that card in your deck. You don't need even for it to be a singleton card. You can just use bounce effects to get at least the same effect. It's just really oppressive. I hate it. I hate that card so much. But anyway, certainly this deck has the potential to get more than 2 in a game. I think that's clear enough. And even against that deck, I had fun. So we'll call that a win. more or less. Have a good one.